The Pharaoh's Daughter, Unraveling the Legacy of Cleopatra.
But before we start, please support us by pressing like and subscribe buttons. Also turn on the bell notification to get the latest updates. Your support means a lot to us. Thank you.
In the swirling sands of ancient Egypt, where the Nile carved a lifeline through an unforgiving desert, Cleopatra VII was born into the twilight of a dying dynasty. She would be the last active ruler of the Ptolemaic kingdom of Egypt, a queen whose name would echo through the ages, wrapped in mystery, power, and tragedy. Cleopatra's life was never meant to be ordinary. Born in 69 BCE in Alexandria, a vibrant metropolis of knowledge and culture, she was a daughter of Pharaoh Ptolemy Thuthydaules, a ruler often perceived as weak and unpopular. The Ptolemies were of Macedonian Greek descent, remnants of Alexander, the Great's once vast empire, yet Cleopatra stood apart from her ancestors. Unlike the Ptolemaic rulers before her, she embraced Egypt's language and customs, identifying more with her Egyptian subjects than with her Greek heritage. This marked the first stroke of her lasting legacy, a bridge between two civilizations. From an early age, Cleopatra was groomed for power. She was highly educated, studying mathematics, philosophy, rhetoric, and astronomy. More impressively, she was a polyglot, reputed to have spoken as many as 9 languages. Her mind was as sharp as any sword, and she knew that in a kingdom teetering on the brink of Roman domination, wisdom would be her greatest weapon. At just 18, Cleopatra ascended the throne alongside her 10-year-old brother Ptolemy III as co-ruler and, by Egyptian tradition, husband. But their union was little more than a facade. The court seethed with intrigue and betrayal. Advisors, generals, and ambitious courtiers jostled for influence. It wasn't long before Cleopatra was ousted from Alexandria, forced to flee into the harsh desert. Yet Cleopatra was no mere victim of fortune. She understood the shifting tides of power better than most. Knowing that Rome was the true master of the Mediterranean world, she sought an alliance with Julius Caesar, Rome's most powerful general and statesman. In 48 BCE, Cleopatra famously had herself smuggled into Caesar's presence, rolled inside a carpet. The image has become legend, symbolizing her audacity and cunning. She captivated Caesar not just with her beauty, which ancient sources suggest lay more in her charm and wit than in her appearance, but with her intellect and charisma. Their political and romantic partnership restored Cleopatra to her throne and secured the death of her brother in the brutal conflict that followed. By 47 BCE, Cleopatra ruled once more, this time as the undisputed queen of Egypt. She bore Caesar a son, Caesarion, whom she hoped would one day unite the mighty powers of Rome and Egypt. Yet Rome was a republic suspicious of kings, and Caesar's assassination in 44 BCE shattered those dreams. In the chaos that followed, Cleopatra aligned herself with Mark Antony, one of Caesar's loyal supporters, and a member of Rome's new ruling triumvirate. Cleopatra and Antony's alliance was both strategic and deeply personal. They needed each other. Antony for Egypt's wealth to fuel his ambitions, and Cleopatra for a strong Roman protector. Their relationship bloomed into a famous love affair, celebrated and scandalized by historians ever since. Cleopatra bore Antony 3 children, and together they envisioned a new world order, an Eastern empire that would rival Rome itself. Their dreams, however, were anathema to Rome's rising star, Octavian, Caesar's adopted heir. Octavian deftly manipulated Roman fears, portraying Cleopatra as a dangerous foreign seductress who had bewitched Antony. In truth, it was not Cleopatra's beauty that Rome feared most, but her independence, her sovereignty, and her audacious ambition to shape the world according to her will. The final showdown came in 31 BCE at the Battle of Actium. Cleopatra and Antony's forces were decisively defeated by Octavian's navy. Fleeing back to Egypt, the couple tried to salvage what little remained, but Rome was unstoppable. Facing inevitable capture and humiliation, Antony fell on his sword. Cleopatra, refusing to be paraded in a Roman triumph like a chained animal, chose to die on her own terms. Legend tells of her allowing an asp, a venomous snake to bite her, a final act of royal defiance. Cleopatra died at just 39 years old, yet she left behind a legend that has never died. Cleopatra's death marked the end of the Ptolemaic dynasty and the fall of Egypt to Rome. Her son Caesarion was captured and executed, ensuring that Octavian, now Augustus, would face no rival. Egypt became Rome's richest province, its grain feeding the empire for centuries to come. But who was Cleopatra, truly? In the centuries since her death, Cleopatra's image has been molded and remolded to suit different narratives. To the Romans, especially Octavian's propagandists, she was a femme fatale, an exotic danger, a schemer who led noble Romans astray. In medieval Europe, she was portrayed as a cautionary tale about the dangers of lust and ambition. In the Renaissance, she became a symbol of tragic beauty. Modern historians, however, have sought to peel back the layers of myth. Cleopatra was first and foremost a sovereign ruler, fiercely protective of her kingdom's independence. She was politically astute, economically shrewd, and culturally adept. She understood the power of spectacle and symbolism. When meeting Antony at Tarsus, she staged her arrival on a golden barge, dressed as the goddess Isis, an embodiment of divine kingship. Cleopatra knew that perception shaped power, and she mastered it. She was also a mother who fought to secure her children's futures, a patron of scholars and scientists, and a skilled negotiator in an age dominated by ruthless men. Far from being merely the lover of powerful Romans, she was a strategist in her own right, using every tool, diplomacy, wealth, personal allure, to defend her realm. In many ways, Cleopatra's legacy is a testament to resilience. She ruled as Pharaoh, in a world where Egypt's power had waned, maintaining her country's autonomy for 2 decades against the rising tide of Roman imperialism. She navigated treacherous internal politics, foreign threats, and cultural divides with remarkable skill. Even in death, Cleopatra exerted control over her narrative. By dying rather than submitting, she preserved her dignity and sovereignty, leaving Octavian unable to fully erase her memory or twist it to his will. Instead, her story endured, captivating poets, playwrights, and historians from Shakespeare to modern cinema. Today, Cleopatra stands not merely as the last pharaoh of Egypt, but as a symbol of female power, intellect, and agency in a world determined to deny her all three. Her life reminds us that history often remembers women not as they were, but as men feared them to be. As the desert sands continue to shift over the ruins of her once mighty kingdom, Cleopatra's true legacy remains, a queen not of mere beauty, but of brilliance, a sovereign who dared to dream of an empire where East and West met as equals, a woman who refused to be forgotten.
Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe if you like videos like this. Thank you.